Thank you for joining us. I'm Felicity Ezewike. It was a day filled with anticipation and expectation in the nation's judiciary as lots of groundbreaking stories made the rounds. Let's start with the biggest one. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun as the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, pending her confirmation by the Senate. The swearing-in ceremony was held at the Council Chamber of the State House in Abuja.
Succeed Olukayode-Ariwola, who bowed out on Thursday upon attaining the mandatory retirement age of 70 years. Kudirat Kekere-Ekun took the oath of office and signed the oath register on Friday as the 23rd Chief Justice of Nigeria, but in acting capacity until a confirmation by the Senate. The swearing-in ceremony was attended by a host of dignitaries, including Supreme Court Justices, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, House of Representatives Leader Prof. Julius Ihobere, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and the outgoing CJN, Justice Olukayode-Ariwola, amongst others. President Bola Tinubu, who had cut short his France trip and returned to the country for the swearing-in, praised Kekere-Ekun's esteemed judicial career and dedication to the Nigerian legal system.
Nigeria's acting Chief Justice Kudirat Olatokunbo Kekere-Ekun come to this position with an admirable family and professional pedigree. Over the years, she established a respectable and incorruptible reputation within the bar and the bench.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, alongside NBA President Yakubu Maikiao, expressed support for Kekere-Ekun's appointment, noting her extensive experience and expertise in the field.
We're excited not just because she's a Lagosian, I am, but because of who she is. You know, she's been an outstanding jurist, you know, and from her resume, she's one of the only very few people that started first, you know, just as the lawyer, you know, and also passing through all of the various courts, magistrate courts, the High Court, the Court of Appeal, and of course now becoming the Supreme Court, you know, and the Chief Judge Chief Justice of the Federation.
Everyone knows her for her competence, most importantly, for her moral rectitude, for her character, for her firmness. And I expect to see some institutional reforms during the tenure of my Lord, Honorable Justice Kekere-Ekun, as the Chief Justice of Nigeria.
For Justice Kekere-Ekun, it is an opportunity to offer an improved justice delivery in Nigeria.
We'll make sure that people have more confidence in the judiciary. And I believe that it's not a one-man job. We all have to be on board. And because we all see where the areas are that need improvement, I believe that there will be cooperation.
Kekere-Ekun from Lagos is expected to bring up extensive experience and expertise to a new role as Nigeria's Chief Justice.
Let's now tell you more about the new Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun. Born on May 7, 1958 in Lagos, Justice Kekere-Ekun embarked on a distinguished legal career, beginning as a State Counsel in Lagos before advancing to the High Court. Her judicial career saw a significant advancement in 2004 when she was elevated to the Court of Appeal, one of the highest appellate courts in Nigeria. Appointed as a Justice of the Supreme Court on June 8, 2013, Justice Kekere-Ekun has been praised for her impactful contributions to Nigeria's legal system, participating in key decisions that have shaped the nation's jurisprudence. She is now the second female justice to attain the position of Chief Justice of Nigeria. To discuss this, we're joined by a legal practitioner, Stanley Ne-gbe-ne-bor. Stanley, thank you for joining us. What are the potential implications of her appointment as currently acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, especially considering her gender and her previous roles in the judiciary?
It is a position well deserved, if you ask me. Congratulations to my Lord. For record purpose, I wish to state that in the bar, there are no females. So the issue of agenda is not a very important factor as it relates to this appointment. We only have gentlemen at the bar and, of course, on the bench. But, of course, going by her pedigree, her history, and all of what she has achieved and accomplished over a 30-year career in the judiciary, it's actually a commendable appointment. She deserves it, and we pray that every one of the stakeholders in the system support her to succeed.
How might her appointment impact the judiciary's approach to gender-related issues and women's rights in Nigeria? I mean, like it or not, she is the second woman to be holding that position, and it is quite an accomplishment.
Oh, well, I would say she's one of the early pace setters on the bench, and she has made a mark in terms of her contributions to jurisprudence relating to gender protection and all that. She's paid her dues too. What I think the message that will go out there will be, yes, there's a new sheriff in town, and everyone needs to keep to the rules. The rules relating to gender protection and equality, especially protecting vulnerable women, have always been in place. And I'm sure with a woman at the helm of affairs, there may be little or no room for circumvention of the already established rules. It's a new dawn in judiciary, and as much as possible, we expect that there will be radical changes associated with this kind of new development.
Given the significant challenges facing the Nigerian judiciary, such as corruption and backlog of cases, even the outgoing Chief Justice did say that some cases that should have been at the appellate court move on to the Supreme Court, and that needs to be checked. What are your expectations for Justice Kekere-Ekun's leadership addressing some of these issues?
It is not gainsaying that Nigeria is in dire need of legal reforms, especially with judicial administration. Interestingly, just a few days ago, a new Supreme Court rules was just enacted, and part of the provisions of that rules. Incidentally, may I mention that my Lord Justice Kekere-Ekun was actually the one who chaired the committee that put together that rule of court. And what rules of court do to court proceedings is they aid the administration of justice. And in line with all of the landmark reforms that have been introduced into that rule of court, I believe that she's in the best position to actually drive that process. Many of the landmark provisions that have been done include and are not limited to electronic filing, as well as other things that will aid the speedy disposal of cases in the court. If that is properly implemented, which I'm sure she will, you will see cases that used to either to take about 20 years to dispose at the Supreme Court level get shortened. Of course, the role of the lawyers in judicial dispensation is also not to be belittled. Lawyers need to also be a little bit more responsible. Several appeals that are in the Supreme Court today don't really have a business to be at the Supreme Court. But of course, for reasons best known to several persons, they always want to argue cases till the very last point, and hence it causes a lot of workload at the Supreme Court level, hence the backlog that we usually have that hinders the administration of justice. On the other hand, on the issue relating to corruption, well, there's a Nigeria endemic problem which cuts across every strata, and the judiciary is not insulated from it. What I know when women take charge of things is they bring their Midas touch to it. Efforts have been made to curb corruption in the judiciary. The outgoing CJN had also taken several disciplinary actions against erring justices, and I believe that that energy will be sustained for the betterment and upliftment of the judiciary.
I do love your comment about the Midas touch. I mean, it is something that women are very proud of, and we're expecting a lot from the new acting Chief Justice, but we cannot shy away that she will face some challenges. What are those potential challenges you foresee she will have to tackle, and how confident do you think she can leverage her experience to overcome them?
The biggest bane of the judiciary, as we all know, has always been guaranteeing its independence. Many of us have always argued that funding for the judiciary should never come from the executive, should never be approved by the Senate to guarantee its independence. A couple of suggestions and suggested reforms have been put in place in this regard. And I believe that my Lord Justice will actually champion the full extrication of the judiciary from the financial control. Financial autonomy of the judiciary is actually the best way out of guaranteeing judicial independence. I believe that she will midwife this process and bet a new dawn for the judiciary. Over time and gradually, I am optimistic that several things will take their place for the betterment of Nigerians ultimately. The judiciary, as the last hope of the common man, needs to be protected. It should be protected because once people lose faith in the judiciary, it is a room for anarchy. I'm optimistic, and for me, it's a breath of fresh air. It's a step in the right direction. An eminently qualified person has taken the place. We only wait for the Senate approval so that we complete the provisions of Section 231 of the Constitution that completes the process of our appointment as the Chief Justice of Nigeria by the Senate confirmation of our appointment.
Stanley, thank you for speaking with us. We appreciate your thoughts.